100% of Juggernaut. There's probably a little bit more polish I could add to this, but I put this together in probably about 6 hours or so, like just kind of thinking how.
6 hours? 6 for somebody who does this for a living. Holy balls.
Yeah, this one I'm extremely excited about. I know you are too, Connor. And we've got a wonderful map that we want to take a look at that you've built some scripting on top of.
Yeah.
And this is a community members map in our private flight, which is Certified Champ, correct?
That's right. Yep, I did not build this map. I just strapped some scripts in here, so everything you see here today is all his work. Really cool stuff. I'll do a quick lap, and then we'll get right into the scripting. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oops,
All right,
my lighting
let's
flip
take a
over.
peek.
I haven't built it yet.
And for anyone who doesn't know, what is scripting at a high level?
Scripting is a way to get logic to run in your game. And in Halo 5 and Halo 2 Anniversary, you could add scripts to objects. So you had a little menu. You could set up conditions and triggers. So, like when a player died, do something. In Halo Infinite, we're focused on offering visual scripting, which is a much more accessible way to run your game mode logic. I've got a quick demo of that here. We're in edit mode here in Forge. And I'm going to go into play mode, which is how we run scripts. You might be familiar with test mode, and that's just my typical drop auto monitor mode, jump around the map, try out your clamors, those types of things. In test mode, that's where your scripts will actually run. And then, of course, when you leave test mode, we tear down everything so you're working with a clean slate. And I just hold the button to do that, and you'll see I'll spawn at a spawn point, the little brain, which is where the script hides there, and, looks like I'm playing the game now.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a grenade. And when I throw a grenade in the normal game, nothing happens. But you'll notice I've got a little message here. I'll look at a wall so you got some good contrast. Current objective, survive. Oh, that's weird. How's that happening?
Nice throwback.
That's nice. Yeah. I played Halo Reach. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go click into this script brain. I'm going to go to our node graph menu.
Did you?
And this is going to be people's first look at node graph.
Yeah, and I see a couple nodes here in the scene. Yeah. So this is our visual scripting system, and this is the script that just ran. We're going to break down everything that just happened to make this thing show up on the screen, and we just want to show you how easy it is to get started with node graph and to get your own game mode scripts. So everything in node graph starts with an event. Events are gameplay, events, things that happen that you can hook up scripts to. So I'm going to go clear these strings out of the way here. And we're going to look at the event we're using here is on grenade throw. This is an event node, and there's a couple components. You got the name, and you got some pins on the side. This diamond is the action pin. This is what's going to let you hook up what runs next. So if we want to print a message to the screen, I'm going to take that diamond, and I'm going to go hook it up to the next diamond that I want to run. If I wanted to put more stuff after I print messages to the screen, I could just keep using the diamonds and chain them all together.
It's like a flow chart.
That's exactly right.
Of just game logic.
Yep.
And you're starting it with on grenade throw. You now want something to pop up on your UI.
Exactly. And we have lots of options. I'm going to open up the node browser, which lets us put nodes in the scene, and you can see we've got a couple different events. The player events lets us check out when somebody crouches, when someone marks with the ping system. That one's really, really fun. When they spawn, when they change teams. We've got stuff with weapons and grenades. There's a whole bunch in here, and I'm really excited about everything you can do. So the other thing I wanted to show you is these pins, which provide a little bit of data. In the case of the grenade throw event, it tells us who threw the grenade and what type of grenade they threw. And then you can do some if statements and decide, maybe if I only want this to run when they throw a plasma grenade. But in this case, we just want to show whoever threw this grenade the message. And if I go look at the node we connected it to, this splash message node, it's got a couple inputs. These are pins as well. So we got a player node, and I'm going to hook those up. So I'm going to click the button, drag the string over, hook it up just like that. And now whoever threw the grenade is the one who's going to see the message. Nice. We've already set the duration. You can edit these directly on the node. So we said about 7 seconds. And then this takes a message as well. And this comes from this last node over here, which is a messaging node. And what I love about this is we've got these message templates that lets you print different things to the screen. So I'm going to try another little fun exercise here. We see current objective, and then it takes that string 1. And if you look down at the node, I'll zoom in. We've got survive. So that's why you saw the message show up, current objective survive.
Nice.
So
you can write custom messages to people if you wanted to.
And these messages, that's exactly right. And these messages are localized too, so they're in all the different languages. So when someone else
that is exactly right. You're actually going to be able to write messages on certain things. Wow. Well, I certainly hope, for their sake, that they have something integrated in to where you can report people, because I can only imagine what these trolls are going to do. I can only imagine what these
I don't
trolls
know,
are
maybe
going to
speaks
do.
German, plays your game that you wrote in English,
Yeah.
they can read it too. So I'm going to go grab these strings I already grabbed.
Turn down the
And you
video
don't
a
have
little
to do
bit.
any of that localization work.
No,
No,
it's
that's right.
automatic.
No, it's
Yeah.
behind the scenes. Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
So I'm going to go drop these over. Hello, world. And we'll go back into play mode. We'll throw our grenade. And I'll face over here.
Wow,
We just wrote our first script.
that is so cool.
So that's how easy it is to get started. Take an event, hook it up to some actions, and then provide the data the actions need to run. And you can do a lot of fun stuff. So I got another demo here.
So
go ahead.
that's
Yeah,
just going to
sorry.
be super useful for you're making your mode and you want to tell players what to do, right? All the time.
Yes.
Just like our current modes
That's right.
that we make
Yep.
in-house.
You might
All the
recognize
time.
that current objective survive from last
Just
card in
like
standing.
our
It's
modes.
hooked up to the same MP systems. With this visual scripting system, every chance we get, we want to take something that we use for our modes and make it available to the players. The closer we can get you to the metal, the better. So
Awesome.
You'll also be able to use the kill feed to put strings
Oh,
as
wow.
well.
On the bottom left there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, really handy for debugging. So I'm going to go delete these nodes, and we're going to make a new one really quick.
All right, let's see what they
I'm going to
got.
actually go put that grenade throw back because that's pretty handy. We can kind of see when it happens. And let's go give ourselves a weapon. I always like getting rocket launchers. So
Who
let's go
doesn't?
into our inventory, which
For
is where
free.
Yeah. I'll trade a grenade for a rocket.
Sure.
Why not?
that'll give us our give player new weapon node. And you can see we had a ton in there that helps deal with weapons and ammo. And there's a whole other category for grenades and equipment. We want to give you access to as many systems as
How's
we
the
can.
volume now,
So I'm going to
Coop?
hook up
Sound
those
okay?
diamonds. So we go on grenade throw to give player new weapon. The person I want to give it to is the player who threw the grenade, and then I can fill in some details here. So let's go get the weapon type. I've got the list of all the weapons in the game here. I really like that red energy sword, so I'm going to do that.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, I did say rockets. Well,
no, let's go
we'll come
energy
back. We'll
sword.
come back. Yeah.
Bloodblade is the way to go.
It's a pretty, it's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
This
yeah,
one-
100%.
This next pin is the weapon addition method, so it's going to tell
Oh,
us,
so we're not
hey,
doing
how do we
rockets
want
now.
to give the player the weapon? I'll say replace all. So
Guess
we
you
get
don't
rid of
like
your current
rockets that
weapons and
much,
just,
huh?
Hey, you're a guy with a sword now. And then this
Liar!
asks, do I want to wait to run the next node?
343 just cannot stop lying. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding on that.
Node before moving on, and that's not really relevant because we're just doing one node here.
Yeah.
So I got all the data I need. I'm going to back out and head into play mode. I'm going to throw that grenade. Boom, there we go.
And it
Red
just
sword.
automatically equips the sword, drops your soul.
What is going on with the is this like a what is this
So I got all the
slowdown
data I need.
that's happening here?
I'm going to back out and head into play mode. I'm going to throw that grenade. Boom, there we go.
And it
Red
just
sword.
automatically equips the sword, drops your soul.
And head into play mode. I'm going to throw that grenade. Boom, there we go.
And it
Red
just
sword.
automatically equips the sword, drops your
Okay,
soul.
probably not that big of a deal.
That's right.
Wow.
So that's how easy it gets started. So if I go back into the
I
script
hope.
brain, one thing that you could do in Halo 5 is you could combine weapons with the
Last
weapon
thing you
pad
want to
glitch.
do is
In Halo 5
script it
Forge,
so goddamn
we have
hard
this UI
that the
bug
game
where
runs
you can
like
pick
you're
the,
playing
rec
on a
variant and copy it
Wi-Fi
and apply it
connected
to weapons that
toilet.
it really shouldn't be on. And we thought that was really, really cool. So we thought we'd bring it back in a fun way.
Hopefully that's
So I'll go
not
down
the
into
case.
The variables, grab this weapon type combination node, and then I can mix and match weapons. So let's go get. I did want that
So
rocket launcher.
fully supported weapon combination.
That's right.
Officially.
Yes.
And
That's awesome.
It was a no-brainer to
Yeah.
say we need to keep this bug around.
Oh yeah.
It was like,
make that a thing. So
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna.
remember that the day that video went live and we saw it all.
Where's the
back
rocket
in
launcher?
Halo 5, everyone was like, we got to keep this around.
Yep.
So it's cool to see it.
And you'll
fully
be able to
supported.
apply these to loadouts, give them to weapons, or give them to players on the fly. It's really, really flexible. You just hook them up to those gameplay events. So
so explain the base weapon and the configuration, what that means.
yeah, so the base weapon is going to be our standard weapons that you see all around our arena maps, and they essentially provide the frame, the gun you're holding, and how fast it shoots and how much ammo it has. But the configuration is essentially the legendary variants, the ones you see in campaign. And these are the ones that can override the properties of the base weapon. And what we've letting you do here is override them in ways that maybe we didn't originally intend. So in this case, I've got an assault rifle. It's going to look like an assault rifle, but I'm going to override those bullets with the rocket launcher. And we'll get a weapon of mass destruction here pretty quick. So then I'm going to go take that weapon type, and you can see I've already connected it to that output pin.
Interesting.
Yep.
Let's go test it. Easy as pie. Throw a grenade. You rocket. But look it down in the weapon cradle in the bottom right. I got this.
Yeah.
You can see the rockets are blowing off each other.
I was going to say, some of those are going to come back at you.
Almost died. All right. So, yeah.
We're doing
Live
it
demos.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to get rid of this one. But that
was pretty cool.
The high level here
That's
is
pretty cool.
it's really easy. You can hook this up to every time a player
I'm
crouches,
still
they get one of these.
I'm still a little bit concerned about like what is that slowdown that's happening right as they pop in this thing. Is that happening because of the scripts? Is that something that, like, I don't know. What's going on with that? Slightly
And we've got
concerned.
loads of actions. And I want to show you a little more complicated
Slightly
version
concerned
of
about
this here
that.
quick. But that's the thing I want you to walk away from. It's really easy to get started with Node Graph.
The
You can
slowdown's
drop them into any
YouTube,
map.
but
Like, I
it's
didn't make this map. I
only
just
when
grabbed
they
someone
pop
else's
in.
and started putting stuff in.
I can't wait to see what happens with Super Fiesta and
Maybe.
those weapon combos.
It's gonna be fun.
be insane.
I was just going to ask, like, visual scripting, brand new for Infinite, right?
Mhm.
We wanted this because Halo 5, we started to toy with scripting a bit, and people wanted it more accessible, more intuitive to dive in, and we now have that.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Scripting in Halo 5 was a challenge, right? It was a little obtuse. It was still very powerful.
So
but,
some incredible mini games.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff that people did was incredible, but, this just builds upon that and makes it easier to sort of intuitively sort of understand what's going on, debug, and get the results that you want.
Yep. And speaking of debugging, a nice part about these script brains is you don't have to put all your scripts in one brain. And so the other more advanced demo I wanted to give is I used to play this custom game in Halo
What?
3. It was based
You
off
don't have to
Juggernaut,
put all
and,
your
Juggernaut's
scripts
not
in
Halo
one
Infinite.
brain? What? Oh my god. I don't know what any of this
That doesn't mean I
means,
don't still
but
want to play it.
sounds cool.
We called it Doom Fruit
Oh, yeah.
because we were goofballs at the time, and
Oh, yeah.
it didn't really mean anything. But
We'll dive into the name
just
another
comes-
time.
it
yeah,
just
yeah,
Dive
yeah.
into
It
the name
just
another time.
came with it, and so
Just came
basically
to
you
us.
had the Juggernaut. When you killed him, you became the Juggernaut, and you were a little bit faster, really, really tanky. And I was like, that would be really cool to have here. So I built a couple script brains. I did about 4 here that gives a base Juggernaut mode and then applies the specific settings that I used to use in my old custom game here. So I've got this one here. I'll just give you a quick overview. This one handles the Juggernaut setup, everything that's going to like make the player the Juggernaut, and we'll walk through one of these chains, show you what's going on. This one handles what happens when someone dies. You can see we've got some more complicated branching logic going on here, so you can use if statements, for loops, those types of things. And then when we don't have a Juggernaut, show you what's going on.
Yeah,
This
show
one
us
handles
what's going on
what
on
happens
again.
when someone dies.
This is just so we. This is slightly more complicated. We got some more complicated branching logic here. I mean, good God, Lord have mercy, dude. We're gonna have to frickin' take a crash course on script brains. But it's pretty cool that they give you the tools to do some cool
You can
stuff.
see we've got some
Pretty
more
goddamn
branching
complicated
logic
looking
going
to
on
me.
here, so you can use if statements, for loops, those types of things. And then when we don't have a Juggernaut because somebody quit the game and we don't know what's happening next, this is some error handling that
You
backs
have
it
to
up.
choose the next Juggernaut.
That's right.
Yep.
And this isn't maybe 100% of Juggernaut. There's probably a little bit more polish I could add to this, but I put this together in probably about 6 hours or so, like just kind of thinking how
6 hours? 6 hours it took him to set this up? 4 brains. 6 hours. Six for somebody who does this for a living. Holy balls. Holy balls, man. What if it's taken this dude, this dude 6 hours to do this, and he says that it's not even 100%? How long do you think it's going to take you, the average Halo player, to do this? That's asking a lot, man.
How do I wanna
I mean,
do
it's
this?
cool.
And,
Again, it's cool that it's there. But based on what I'm seeing, I cannot see myself going crazy with this. This is, again, giving people a lot of tools to create really cool shit. That's what they're banking on. And hopefully, I mean, people. There's really talented people out there. They're gonna set up some really dope shit. But it ain't gonna be me.
got it all there. And then this last script brain is variables, which are going to let us tune it. So I can tune stuff such as, who is the Juggernaut? What's the name? There's that Doomfruit word. So when you see that show up, I just want to tell you why you're going to see that. But I can make that any one of our localized strings. So that could be Juggernaut.
So you put Doomfruit in our game?
That's right.
Just because you wanted it?
That's correct.
Okay.
We're clearly legal. We're good. And how many points you get for you get how many points you get for killing the Juggernaut, how many points you get for kills as the Juggernaut, and you can see I'm actually naming my variables based on the names here. So this is really, really powerful. And we've also got the traits that define the players. You might recognize these from custom games, but we can change exactly how much move speed bonus the player's going to get. Do they have extra bonus shields, so they'll be more tanky? How slow does their health recharge?
Can you go back to variables really quickly?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I wanted to speak a little bit about the scope there, because I think it's a really, since you're using multiple script brains, why are they set to global, and why is that so important?
Yeah, so in lots of our scripts, or lots of minigame scripts, you end up using the same piece of information over and over again. So say in Halo 5 you wanted to do one of these modes, and every time you killed a certain guy, you got 5 points. Each one of those scripts you had to put in 5 points for. There was a variable system there too, but we wanted to make that super accessible. And so we offer this option here to choose local, global, or object scope. Local will keep everything in the same script brain, and so if you're making simple scripts, you want to use local, it's nice and simple. But if you want your variables accessible in other locations, we've got global, which means you can see it in every context, essentially every other script brain. And object lets you actually store a number on a thing, like a player. So I could say, track someone's coins. If I was building a Halo RPG from the MCC custom browser, I did a lot of fishing in that a couple months ago, and I was like, that's pretty cool. The object, you could say, I'm going to put a coins variable on a player, and then whatever action you take in the game give you coins. We can just track that, so then your scripts can just grab it based on who's interacting with the switch.
Wow.
So really, really powerful constructs, and make it a lot easier to manage stuff. So I'm going to dive into one of these, and then we'll show you the game mode, because I think that'll be, hey, this is cool. But I want to just walk you all through what happens in this custom event, which is when we set up the Juggernaut.
Let's see it.
Quick thing, the custom event is, we've got all those gameplay events that the game raises. Sometimes you have custom logic that you're like, hey, when certain things happen, when multiple factors are happening, I want to trigger my own logic, and custom events let us do that. So they're up here in events custom, and you can do both local and global versions of those. So this is a global one because it gets triggered from a couple script brains, but there's lots of things that trigger a new Juggernaut, start of the match, when someone dies, when someone quits. So we put all the logic in one of these here. And when that goes off, we go and apply a trait set. Those are those custom game properties I was started to show you earlier.
This is making the Juggernaut the Juggernaut.
Yep, I'll go back into the variables. And we define those up here. Movement speed, bonus shields, health recharge, stopping people from throwing grenades, so the Juggernaut has to use the hammer, whether or not they drop weapons, which is really big for custom games, whether or not they can pick up weapons, and do they have infinite ammo. We don't know our Juggernaut to run out of hammers. But I can put as many of these in here as I want and name it all as a set. This is the Juggernaut set. And so this guy right here just says, hey, when you become the Juggernaut, make him the Juggernaut until he dies. And you can apply that for a certain number of seconds or just permanently, and they'll get it every respawn. So lots of different ways.
So you took a different script brain, plugged it into this one, and plugged it into that flow.
That's right.
Nice.
We've got give player new weapon, which we saw in our last demo, so that just hands a player a new weapon. I'm using a global variable here so that in the variables you can say, hey, I want you to get the big red hammer from campaign. Maybe I want juggernauts with rocket launchers. So I can just go change it in the variables, and it'll show up any spot that it gets used here. Just following this little diamond pin down here, pushing splash to players. You also saw this in our demo, so we go and make the message. We're going to say you are the string, and then we're going to use that global variable for the juggernaut name. So once
Bro, this seems so goddamn complicated. This seems so complicated. I know they're all talking like, oh yeah, so what you did was you took the script brain and you put it in this script brain, and then you just linked these two nodules, and then they became a brain of their own, and then you scripted that, and this is how you got this is how you got almost 100% of Juggernaut. The Juggernaut. Woo! My goodness. Yeah, I mean, this tool is clearly meant for the people that probably should just be working at 343 and creating stuff. Those people are going to go ham. And that's why I think a lot of people have a lot of hope that Forge is in some way going to more or less save Halo Infinite. And I'm on the train that it probably will do a lot for Halo Infinite. A lot. This is not easy. This is not easy. A guy who freaking made this took him 6 hours to get a almost 100% Juggernaut mode that he wanted. Almost. 6 hours. He is a game dev. Like, damn. Dude. I'm just saying, that doesn't...
It's, again, really tunable.
I don't know.
That
That sounds really freaking hard.
It's kind of silly. I want classic. Great, you could swap that out.
But you could say you are the Doomfruit.
That is correct.
Yes.
And in fact,
So,
I hope we
that's
see
what
that
I'm gonna
here.
do.
That's what I hope we see here really quick. And then finally, we trigger some
certainly
more
love their
logic, which is down here at the
Doom
bottom of the page, but we have nav markers that'll kind of track the Juggernaut and move around. You'll see that in the custom, but that happens down here. And we won't go through all the details, but you can configure nav markers, make them follow players.
Mm-hmm.
And so the takeaway from all that is there's tons of things you can do in this. This node browser is absolutely massive. Each of these are categories, and each of these categories is stocked with tons and tons of nodes. So I'm really excited for the community to get their hands on all the things and then start giving us ideas on what we should do in the future, 'cause
I bet y'all
really
are.
That is very
So-
cool. I'm going to queue up our Juggernaut custom game so we can put your script to the test here.
Yes, let's see how
on
that
this
goes.
other machine. But you used to do scripting as a community member too, correct?
Yeah, I spent way too many hours in Halo 5 making mini games, little objects that you could play with. Learned a lot of things about special numbers. There's a lot of crazy math that happens in Halo 5 and some cool tricks to get stuff to follow. So yeah, I love all the things that you could do. It's really cool to be a part of the expansion of that for Infinite.
Yeah, and making a little Juggernaut demo we can test here too as
Yeah.
I jump in. I'm the only
That would-
the account
It'd
we're
be
playing
so
on is
funny if it just
my
broke.
bumper jumper account, so I kind of have to be. But I'm
Yeah,
gonna watch.
I can't play that.
We're gonna watch as some bots kill each other, and there we go. We've got a Juggernaut who got that first kill, correct? So I'm gonna try and go knock out this Juggernaut who, as we can tell, has Eshrom's hammer, and I am way too close, so I'm gonna run away. Please don't chase me. Don't look at
And,
me. I'm
you'll
trying
notice
to go
you didn't get any kills because in the game mode we set it to
no
0
points. Yeah,
kills.
yeah.
So we're only getting points for killing the Juggernaut or kills as the Juggernaut,
Oh no.
which is really important for making those custom
Oh, no.
games sing.
Is this a script? Is this a script? How does this man take no damage from this
Oh, no.
hammer right
Which is
here?
really important for making those custom
Oh, no.
games sing. So remember, he's tanky.
Oh no.
Tell you what, if that's me,
Get out of there.
shields popped.
There we go.
I'm
Get the
getting
kill.
one
tap
All
right in the
and there's our
dome.
splash message. You are the Doom Fruit.
I am the Doom Fruit.
Now
Let's
you're
go.
a little faster. Your shields are recharged.
And I've got the HUD on me. Yep, the nav marker on me. And I can come after some... Oh, I went a little too far there. Moving too fast. Come back.
So this game will go to 25 at the end, and this is just our Arena FFA Slayer game, and all we did was change how many bots are present and set the points to 0 so that the mini-game scripts we put in those script brains can control what's happening.
I'm going to try and get there.
Oh, I think that might be too late.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Come back to the gameplay. You're on my radar. Come back.
I think we might have to turn
Oh, it timed
So
out.
close.
Close.
So we might have to turn those bots up to ODST next time you play, but I think this highlights one of the things I really like about Infinite's Forge is you can test your mini games with bots, and that is like in Halo 5 you had to go find a friend. Quality move. Quality
Emergent
move.
gameplay right there.
Yep.
Love
Yeah.
it.
I saw it and lined it up and it worked. Oh, that's always so much fun.
So I remember in Halo 5 I was constantly like bothering friends to come join my game so I could hit them with the gravity hammer and make sure my mini game was working. And something I really enjoy about testing in Infinite is we've got bots, which lets it easy to get a first pass on a couple of these things.
Just taking a look at the map now too.
Yeah, testing bots, testing maps and experiences with bots is I feel like it's such a game changer for Forge.
And I know I would love to finish this game and keep it going, but we do want to show off how these bots know to navigate around on these maps, right?
Yeah.
So we've got another map loaded up here on the side, which is by Cliff internally, who we had on in the episode before. He put together a map that covers what it looks like with the bot nav mesh, right? That instructs bots on what to do on these maps. You guys mind walking us through that?
Yeah, definitely. So if you've never heard the term before, nav mesh is essentially this data that comes with a map that tells a bot how to navigate it. And in Halo Infinite, we generate that automatically for you. And you can actually see that with one of our tool settings. If I go into the tool settings over here and go down to nav mesh and turn that on, if I point my camera, I can see, wow, blue is anywhere there's nav mesh, and you can see all these arrows that are saying, hey, here's how one of our multiplayer bots will navigate, like read the space and say, oh, I can jump from there to there, I can jump down from those bridges, I can jump across, and that's really, really cool. Now, no automation is perfect though, so like oftentimes you'll make some geo, it's a little strange. I think Cliff pointed out one, let's see if I can find it. There's a ledge back here.
Yes. Yep.
And you can see actually I don't have the nav mesh on it. I think I got an old copy of the map.
It did not auto-generate. Yeah.
And so, right, we've got, that means it's basically invisible to the bots. They don't know that they can go up there. So how do you solve that problem? I'll come out here to spawn some objects. I'm going to turn this off just so we can see it. In the gameplay section, you can check out our nav mesh category. And we actually have a bunch of different objects that let us tell bots how to read the map. You can tell them about crouch areas, like a little tunnel in Bazaar. You can talk about jump hints. Say, hey, this is a place you can jump if those arrows aren't generating automatically. You can say, actually, you really can do this. We've got some one-way movements, so things like teleporters or man cannons. And you can also say, hey, I actually really want you to do some stuff here. So the way I would generate for that map, we won't show it here on stream because we don't want you to have to sit through a build, but I would just basically go intersect that with the area. Oops. And next time this generates, now the automation will say, oh, great, you want this ledge? Let me take care of that for you. And it'll take care, it'll go generate it.
So you can suggest to Forge, I want this to be a playable space
That's
for
right.
bots.
Yep.
And these are a lot of the same markup we use in our internal editor, and we just put them in Forge so that you can use them too.
Yeah, a lot of this is directly from the internal tools.
Yeah. And then just to call it out there, if you don't want bots to go to an area, you can apply nav mesh cutters that say, no, do not generate nav mesh there, and then the bots will say, great, I don't see it.
Do not jump into the pit of death.
Correct.
Yeah.
A very good example.
Yeah.
That's
Very
right.
good example.
So
One thing, bots, how do they know how to pick up weapons?
that's actually built into the objects themselves. So any kind of weapon racks, objectives like the flags, they already know how to play those modes from our regular maps, and that carries over to Forge. So when you put them down, it'll go into their utility tree that says, oh, should I go grab that rocket launcher or should I avoid the player in front of me? They'll just take that into account naturally. You don't have to do anything, which is pretty great.
and this is super helpful for just
Yeah,
jumping
that
in,
is
testing
nice.
your maps, your modes, without needing 7 other players.
Yeah,
That's
it's
right.
it's like I said earlier, like being
Wow.
able to just be in the zone, testing your map, and go, hey, I just want to play it. I don't have to get 7 other people to come to my custom game.
Mhm.
I just get the bots to come.
Yeah. And you get a full test pass on it.
Yeah,
That's real nice.
it really like
Real nice.
in my experience, it's been really
Real
informative, like to do this in the blockout phase and really understand what your map is doing, and because you can change the difficulty of the bots in your custom game, right?
Sure.
And so
Yeah,
you can really understand like how the map is playing, and the bots will play geometry very well.
It's kind of annoying sometimes how much they kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also really, really helpful. I'm like, that tower is really, really strong. Oh, okay, maybe that room.
Yeah.
You know what?
I-
Maybe it needs some windows in that.
I need some cover, like,
Dude's getting
I
crushed.
feel like this is just a
This dude's getting crushed by bots. The self-report there, boys.
hallway of death. Maybe I need a way out of it. Those kind of things. Yeah, for
Yep.
sure.
And that just means you're bringing a better map to custom games night when you go to play with your friends. So
That's very true. Yeah. But I think that covers all the things we wanted to touch on today. Before we wrap up, did you guys have any closing words you wanted to say?
I can't. I've sort of said this in the other video, but
Yeah.
I'm just super excited to see what like things like Action Sack, how they
Yep,
evolve with
Oh, that
nav
scripting.
mesh and scripting, right? Like I just think it's going to
Oh.
be just
Oh, yeah.
exponentially more insane
Yeah,
than it was
yeah, yeah.
before. And I love Action Sack. I love Super Fiesta. I love all that stuff. So I'm
I don't recall what Action Sack is. What the hell is Action Sack? Does anybody what I don't remember what Action Sack is. What the hell is that?
super jazzed to see the crazy stuff that comes out of the community.
yeah. And I'm kind of in
And,
the same boat. Like, surprise us. What can you
we're
come
praying-
up with?
we're
What are you
praying
missing
to
come up with
Jesus
cooler
that you
things?
guys
Like, we
do
want to hear all
this.
of it. We're really, really excited to bring you along for this journey.
Please,
All right.
God.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And
Please, God,
everyone,
everybody
thank you
make
so much
Halo
for watching
Infinite kick ass.
another Forge video. We're going to have even more coming out on our Halo channels here in the coming weeks. So thank you so much, and stay tuned for more Forge info. We'll catch you next time.
Hell yeah, dude. All right, so this is interesting. Like Action Sack was a playlist of weird objective modes. Okay, Infection, Juggernaut, Griffball all go into the Action Sack. Okay, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. Look, that was pretty cool. I mean, honestly, they're literally giving the community all of the tools necessary to make Halo good. And, you know, I hope they do it. I hope they do it. I know there's going to be some people out there, and there's probably people already out there doing cool stuff, messing around with Forge. But yeah, I mean, give it enough time, and people are going to come up with some really cool things. I mean, again, to me, this doesn't strike with me personally. Like, that just all looks so goddamn ridiculously complicated to me, so I probably won't be messing around with that stuff at all. I mean, I'll try and make a map, but I ain't gonna F around with bot stuff. I'm not gonna mess around with scripts all that much. You know, maybe if there's a couple of easy ones, I'll do that, but I certainly am not going to be putting 6 hours. I'm not going to be putting 6 hours into scripts just to make a Juggernaut mode. Like, it's just not going to be... That just ain't gonna be. Yeah, it's robust. It is certainly robust. There's no doubt about that. They're giving you a lot of tools. They're saying, please, boys, save the game. Get that out of here. Stop it. Stop blinking, you. Yeah, they're really just trying to give everybody the tools to make it happen, man. I think they will too. I think I'm much more excited for map making than I am mode making, personally. I mean, all those game modes should be on there already, in my opinion. The ones that they're talking about. The action sack, or whatever. Should just be in the game. As soon as Forge comes out, and so one, it has to work, and it has to work well. It works well on these versions that they're showing, except for a little bit of slowdown right when they pop in. But is that going to be the state of it when it actually fully releases to the public, to the 1,500 people playing? Will it work? I'm crossing my fingers that it do, but I ain't holding my breath. You know what I mean? Jeez, man. Yeah. Dude, that's 6 hours, man. 6 hours for a game dev to almost 100% do Juggernaut. That's what scares me. But yeah, that was the Forge video. Again, really robust. It looks super complex. I probably won't mess with it except for maybe trying to build a map or two. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. Forge looks cool. I hope it can save it, man. I hope it can save the game.